BYOT. Bring your own tacos.
Dick swinging.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast.
We can say fuck.
With Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
I don't care, I've been smoking, this is cool. That's a decent amount of sausage. This man needs a doctor! Yeah, I just hope they're tasty. What's up with these clowns, man? Cut the lights and went through people's pockets. Don't you point that at each other. Let them smoke a little. You need to step it up to that point. We're not gonna lead with the. We're not gonna lead with
First off, I just want to ask you, because I feel like this is something weird that I encountered being sick over the past week. Do you have a thermometer in your house? Because I fucking don't.
No, I haven't. God, living at home is the last time I even saw a thermometer.
Right? Is that something?
Like a human one, you know?
I think you only get one when you have a kid.
Yeah, that's sad. I have a meat thermometer, but I don't have the human thermometer.
I don't know where you're sticking that. I don't know if it'll give you an accurate read.
I don't know if you want to use that for that or what.
I went to the grocery store though, and I looked where in the medicine type of aisle and couldn't find it. Maybe it's because it was a grocery store.
It's probably in the child section, I would imagine. You would find one of those electronic thermometers.
You gotta
go to the Infinite. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the baby section.
So I couldn't tell you if I had a fever or not, because I don't possess a thermometer, unfortunately. But I can tell you I was fucking sick. I was holding surfaces, trying to make my way around the house.
Yeah, I could feel you on that. It was weird. Separate sides of the United States, but we still got sick at the same fucking time.
I wonder how many more people were sick last week.
Yeah, right? Yeah, which is why you guys didn't get too much content from us, and we're apologizing for that.
Yeah, we're back on track. We still put out an episode. We put it out a little late on Wednesday instead of Monday, but
yeah, we got some messages from some listeners, and no worries, we're back.
I'm at 80%. Let's call it that.
Yeah, you probably hear it in our voices. We definitely don't sound normal. But it's all right. We're gonna roll with it anyway.
Getting healthy.
Hell yeah. And welcome to American Slacker Podcast. As always, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jesse, hacking up along. Hopefully we keep it not too gross for you guys as we cough our way through this fucking episode. First off, we want to say thank you to a couple people.
Hell yeah. People that support our show with Patreon.
Yeah, our Patreon slackers. First off, Dave Gunn. Big thanks, man. Also, Kyle Nolan Bradford from the Crime Roulette podcast. Big thanks to those guys. Go check out that show. And Aaron W. from the Yes and I Am podcast. Big thanks, guys.
Hell yeah. Really thank you, everybody, for supporting the show. Your support goes a long way.
Also, I want to say thank you to Big H the Don on SoundCloud. He's provided some tracks for the background of our episodes. We really appreciate that.
Hell yeah. A lot of good tracks. I love them.
Yeah, he's always coming up with really cool shit. Now, we have a pod shout-out to pick, don't we?
Hell yeah.
Get my Twitter app loaded up here. You want to explain how our little contest works?
Hell yeah. We shoot out a tweet every week, and everybody that gives us a retweet, they're eligible for a pod shout-out, and we will give you a shout-out about your podcast. And we've had great success with it. We get quite a few every week. Last week it was kind of a stalemate.
Yeah, we're kind of sick, and we got our tweet out late for the last episode, but we still got a couple of retweets on it. And we have one. Actually, it comes down to one because the host of the show and the show itself tweeted.
Double.
Our shout out goes to Christian and Damon's Amazing Nerd Show, and they're at Amazing Nerd Show. Their description says, for fans, by fans, coming early 2018. Former Longbox Scavenger co-hosts, so we've given a shout out to them before. They talk about comics, wrestling, and more. It's the podcast you didn't know you wanted. So check them out at Amazing Nerd Show. Sounds like they're putting something out early next year.
Cool. Sounds interesting. Definitely worthy of checking out. Congratulations on your pod shout out.
So what do we got coming up in the show?
Well, this week we're going to cover our bizarre news as always. Did you think we're going to do something else? Come on now. And then we're going to move into video games. And then we're going to wrap it up. We haven't done TV suggestions in a while, so we're going to do them.
That's very
and
true.
we got a couple of good ones. Both ones that I really am enjoying. Well, one I'm enjoying watching right now, one I've killed.
Some Netflix hits.
Stick around.
And with our weird news, we always like to start out with a little bit of weed news. This time, going over to Vermont, where they're planning on legalizing marijuana in early January.
Recreational?
Yeah, it's going to be, it's interesting. The reason this article from marijuanamoment.net caught my eye is because they said that it might be the first state to legalize through an act put forth by lawmakers rather than like a voter initiative ballot.
Okay, yeah. And now I didn't quite understand that exactly when you said that, because I wasn't sure exactly of the process.
Yeah, I guess in a lot of states, like, Colorado and California, they put it on a ballot so that when people went to the polls, they could vote, like, do we want to legalize or not? And in Vermont's case, and also New Jersey's case, which they're voting soon to figure out what they're going to do, it's going to be through lawmakers saying yay or nay and getting like a signature from the governor. Now, it already went up once for legislation to Governor Phil Scott, but he vetoed it because there were a couple of things that they wanted to make changes on, or that he wanted them to make changes on before he could put his John Hancock on that.
Okay.
But this time around, they made the changes, and he said that he's going to be comfortable signing it in January when they have it go forth to his desk. Now, this isn't going to be setting up any sort of like commercial business within Vermont. That was another interesting thing about this, is it's only going to be for personal use.
Okay.
So you're allowed to grow in your own home a certain amount of plants, and you can possess small amounts. But they're not going to be setting up any sort of like licensing for commercial industry.
Ah, okay. Alright. Well, still that enables. It just makes it kind of hard because then you have to acquire the seeds from somebody at least. That makes it a little difficult, but
Gotta come from
still,
somewhere.
Again, I can't help but say a step in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely. And Jersey might beat them at this. It all comes down to what happens in January. And Jersey is going full-scale commercial. They had an election with their governor who campaigned. He was elected recently, and he campaigned on legalization. And it would be the first state to end prohibition through an act of lawmakers if Vermont doesn't do it first.
Okay.
So, big news coming out of the Northeast. And it looks like January is going to be green for a couple of states, putting pressure on New York.
Oh, yeah. God damn it, man. I'm so sick of it. I'm surrounded by places that it's all legal now.
Right.
They need to get moving.
Now, if you guys want to check out this article, we're going to be posting it on Monday on our Facebook page like we do with all of our marijuana and weed news.
Well, keeping up with news of legalization in Canada, we have an era that's quite funny, and I can't help but relate to it because my autocorrect butchers me all the time, and you can bear witness. You've gotten quite a few messages that are quite fucked up.
A lot
right?
of duckings.
Yeah, a lot of duckings. That happens.
No, who says ducking? Who says
of
it?
course,
Why do they correct it to that?
I know. But, as computers have it as well. In Ottawa, we had an illegal bill. Bill C-45, which was set to legalize cannabis. An era with autocorrect has legalized cannibalism.
So instead of cannabis, they ended up with cannibalism legalized?
Yeah, cannibalism is now legalized, and this was in between the second and third form of the bill. Somehow an autocorrect error happened, and it got passed. This occurred on November 30th. Yeah. Apparently, the big issue is that it's actually going to cost the Canadian economy up to $22 billion, which I'm assuming is, cannabis-related revenue that is lost because it's not technically illegal now. because that's not what's written in the law. It's cannibalism. It's not cannabis. So they're not free to fucking act on selling, you know?
Damn. That actually hurt them, having that one little fucked up word.
Yeah, but the article has this in there. I don't understand if it's truth or not, but it said it could create a boom in cannibalism-related tourism.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't realize there was a big industry for that.
Cannibals are flocking to Canada in caravans to
Well, I'd imagine
consume.
more horror fans, but even so, it's like, there's like a limit. It's like, oh, they just enacted cannibalism is real. Like, what's wait around for cannibalism to happen?
Just people gnawing on each other at the bus stop.
Yeah. So now they're counting on the Senate to revoke this and reintroduce the bill with the proper spelling so that we legally have cannabis being legal in Ottawa as recreation.
I feel like that's a misstep that's a clear, like, oh, you just showed your cards that you don't fucking read the laws that you pass. Like, not closely enough, I guess.
Not closely enough, but you're talking about politicians that probably browse a million articles, and dozens a day, so they're quick browsing. Cannibalism,
that's their job.
Cannabis, they might just look over it real quick and, I don't know.
That's their job. They fucked up.
They did fuck up, especially, I don't know what Canadian politicians make, but American politicians have no leeway on that. They make too much money.
Right. We're going to move on from the cannibalism in Canada. We're getting into some holiday hijinks here. We have a toddler flipping tattooed mall Santa who's being told, tone it down. And his fans are not happy about it.
Fans are not happy about it.
Oh, this fan, fans? Santa Scott's got fans. In this Vice article, they talked to people and this small Santa, and in Pennsylvania, he's known for, doing kind of crazy photos. He'll take pictures with pets. He'll have like your snake around his arm or whatever, your puppy in his lap. And he also has tattoos that say naughty and nice on his arm, on either arm. So he's known for throwing children over his shoulder and taking funny pictures where he's showing either the naughty or the nice tattoo. Maybe one of each. Send to grandma. It's definitely funny.
He's a progressive Santa. He's
definitely a little edgy. He's got an edge to him.
Some parents might appreciate that take on Christmas time.
A lot of them seem to, and I guess he's been told by the photo company this year that he can't show off his tattoos and that he can't throw kids over his shoulder. Maybe it's an insurance or liability type of thing.
Okay.
That's what immediately came to mind for me. It's like, they're worried about someone getting hurt or something. But
which is fair.
When some fans heard about this, one fan named Amanda went on Facebook and, typed out a rant. Got shared over 400 times because this guy's got, a good fan base.
Wow.
They come back and see him all the time. And people were pissed. They were like, this photo company fucking sucks. I go every year to this guy and he's awesome. And then other people were like, oh, boycott him. And they're like, oh, no, don't boycott him. It's not his fault. He still needs
Do you feel
the work.
like the bad Santa movies have influenced this a little bit? The adaptation of he's just that kind of guy.
Well, I think there's just different families out there these days, and it's I don't think he's pulling off a bank robbery with
True. I'm not saying
dude.
that. I'm just saying the Santa that's obviously not Santa, but he's just he's a dude that
he's
needs
the
a job.
edgy Santa. If mom and dad let
flashing
the
his
kids
past.
get their hair cut into a mohawk and dyed and shit, maybe they're gonna take him to the edgy Santa.
You definitely see his dark, grizzled beard under the white
He's
Santa
a biker.
fake
This
beard.
guy's a fucking he looks like a biker Santa.
Oh, God. That's a Santa you don't want to get lippy with at the mall.
I'm watching too much Sons of Anarchy or something, but I like it. It's a cool twist. It's different, and he's still gonna do his kind of crazy photos with a different photo company outside of the mall. If people still want that kind of picture with their kids, but he's not allowed to, flip kids over his shoulder and do all that kind of crazy shit at the mall.
No more fucking stunts with the children, guys.
Cut off.
Come down on that. No more putting them in the fucking dirt bike death circle.
I'm with Santa Scott. You know, sometimes you gotta throw a kid over your shoulder and be like, you're getting cold.
That's true. If they're a shitty kid, then throw them over your shoulder.
We were just talking about earlier how, a surefire way to keep your kids in line. Wrap a couple empty boxes and when they act up, right in the fire.
Man. Honestly, I feel like that is a pretty good approach to keep your kid in line. I'm not sure about the long-term effects on the development of your child, but for the short term, that's a solution.
Or if they're acting up on the way home, just like ask for an extra empty box of the new PS4 or whatever you're pulling home, and instead of giving it to the kid, pass it out the window to someone. Just give them an empty box and drive away. Your kids will be blown away.
Yep.
They can't fucking believe it.
You gotta weight it with bricks or something.
Keep them in line.
That way the person's not like, hey, this is empty. They're like, oh shit, thank you. And then you're just kind of ruining two people's days. You get a bonus out of that. You kind of ruin somebody else's day because they're like, I got a free fucking
no
PlayStation
presents,
5.
No McDonald's, no ice cream, nothing. You're just fucking cut off, kids.
Cut off. Well, speaking of ice cream, now when you go to an establishment, Jesse, I want to ask you, how sexy is too sexy for an ice cream place's logo?
It really depends what we're talking about here.
Now,
if we got a good play on words, you might have me.
Well, we kind of do. We got a place. This establishment is called Derriere. It's located in Montclair. It's in North Jersey.
Derriere.
Now, what they have as a logo is they got a cool Jurassic Park style outline logo, Derriere. But next to that, they got a cow logo that's a pretty thin cow with a big derriere. And the cow's got its butt sticking through like a loop. So it's kind of... It's a little
too voluptuous.
We're keeping up with the edgy shit, man. This is a pretty fucking edgy ice cream joint. And now they're getting a little bit of backlash. Some parents are thinking this is too much. It's a hyper-sexualized female cow. It's one of the quotes.
It's definitely supposed to be a sexy cow. That's what they were going for.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like they're keeping up.
Is it the fact that it's not wearing clothing? It's got a beret on.
It's got a beret on, but there's no other clothing. We don't see like boobs or anything, so I mean, it's not like crazy bad, but
it's just
it is like a humanized butt.
It's a cow butt. It's not
a cow butt. That's no cow butt that I've ever seen.
A butt's a butt. I mean, butt's just the tops of legs.
I hate to disagree. A butt is not a butt.
A butt is just the tops of legs, and cows have tops of legs, so they got a butt.
I don't know, man.
That's a cow butt right there.
This cow is a little too human for my liking.
It's interesting how like people like get fixated on these things, though. You know, you can't just go and get your ice cream. You have to be like, this ass offends me. Like, it's too sexy for this cartoon.
People look for something to be offended. Like, one of the quotes, this kind of marketing scheme is the reason we currently have a sexual predator in the White House. Like, it's like, what does that have to... Like, what... You're making accusations about...
I don't think an ice cream company in fucking North Jersey...
This is all unrelated. Like, this is crazy. Like, no. Like, you have an issue with the logo. Why do you have an issue with the logo? Please tell me that's related to the logo.
It's because you're attracted to a cow and you don't know how to feel about that.
You're jealous of that cow's ass. Just be up in front. You're jealous you don't have that cow's ass. I get it.
Yeah, I could see why they're confused about themselves when it comes down to being turned on by an ice cream cow logo.
Yeah. Well, you know, the owner has not been able to be reached for comment through any of the news media, but I'm sure he's not going to alter his image. It's not too crazy. There's one logo, and when you go to the storefront, the main logo on the windows is a normal ice cream sandwich. It's nothing crazy. Now, you don't even really see this logo.
Now, if the cow had, like, its tits, like, all 6 of them pressed up against, like, the glass or something.
And they were big human boobs. Like, they were just boob city, like, 3 racks.
That would be totally different.
That'd be an issue. People, older men would just be creeping to the front of the store, like naturally. Like, yeah, but you guys want to go to there?
We'll post this article actually, so that people can tell us, like, what do you think? Is this cow?
Yeah. What is the line?
Sexy.
As far as you are bringing mainly a children type crowd to this establishment. So, I could see it, but I haven't heard a fair complaint.
We'll post that one up on Tuesday.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Oh, man. Talk about stupid moves. The people in our next story, this is something straight out of Jackass, if I were to say so. We have a man in...
I enjoy Jackass.
We have a man in Wolverhampton, which... could you give me a look up on Wolverhampton? Because I'm not sure where that's at.
Wolverhampton? Like Wolverine?
Wolverhampton. And a man in Wolverhampton decided it'd be a great idea for him and his friends. They wanted to make an internet video, as many people do. They decided, let's cement our friend's head inside of a microwave. Now, before you ask, there was a breathing tube.
Oh my god. This
Most
is one
important
of the most
question.
idiotic things I've ever heard of somebody doing as a stunt to make a little cash.
Well, it wasn't even to make cash, it's just for the views.
True. Well, I mean, views lead to ad revenue, whatever
I guess so.
They're trying to start something. They're trying to
fame.
start some type of way to fame to make money.
Yeah, it's definitely a fame grab.
I pulled it up. It's a city in West Midlands, England.
Okay.
So we got some good old English boys here having some fun.
Having a good time with some quick dry cement. So yeah, they put his head in a bag, they put a breathing tube in his mouth, and they were using the microwave as a casing. They weren't gonna plug it in or anything. They just wanted to make a mold of his head. so they poured in a bunch of bags of what's it called? They have the polyfilla and poured it around his head. It took them about an hour and a half 2.5 hours, because they had already been freeing him for an hour and a half, and then local crews arrived with a technician rescue team to take the microwave apart, and then that took another hour to free him. So 2.5 hours
to get this asshole out of the microwave.
And they said this was stupid. They were very apologetic. They knew that this was possibly taking them away from another actual emergency. And I don't know. I guess they won't do it again. Of course. Why the fuck would you? You could easily die. You could be suffocated.
Yeah, there's so many things that could have went wrong. You could have, your buddies could have tried to get you out of that with a hammer and fucking crack your skull.
And that's the funny thing is, it looks almost like it's too heavy for his neck, because in every picture it's being held, upright by someone else. Because it's probably, a couple of pounds of cement inside of the microwave, which is already kind of heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Could you lift your head if it had an extra 50 pounds on it?
I think we're talking more about 75 to 100 range.
Because cement's heavy.
I definitely don't think that would do good. I think you would pull something in your neck real quick. The average human in
I'm
the
just
United
wondering
States especially,
if they let go, he would just fall and smash.
Oh,
and
dude, you
it's not like a helmet. That's just
think
straight
about it, you
rock.
can break your neck. Because your body weight, if the back of your, if you fall backwards, if you lifted it up and say the backwards had a good chunk of cement, and you just fall backwards, your body weight's going to break your neck.
The thing that also I thought of when I was reading this story is, to do this, he had to probably go complete upside down with his head in the microwave, right? Because if it's liquid cement, they have to pour it around his head, so he had to fucking put his head down.
He kind of hovered, made an A-style frame, bent over, just sat there for hours or whatever, however long it takes for it to mend.
The downward dog straight into head into the microwave.
How uncomfortable this whole thing must have been.
And how retarded he must have felt once he tried to lift his head up, and the thing was too damn heavy.
Now, did he get any fines or anything from this? Or for the emergency services happen to respond?
I didn't say anything about him having to pay for it, but I'm assuming they're going to send him a bill.
That's got to cost something. I mean, it's an idiotic tax.
Well, actually, it's over in England, so it might be covered.
Maybe they cover morons fucking around.
Fucking around with quick dry and fucking microwaves.
We'll blame it on the Americans. Ever since that Jackass went live, kids have been going crazy with stunts.
Bush jumping's really different than cementing your head in the microwave, though.
Well, people can be dumb. I mean, you fuck around. Hopefully, you're not fucking around at your job, though. Because that's when it can really land you in some deep waters. And the story that we're going to cover in our next story involves a whole ton of people fucking around at their jobs. Now, what we have is a former Army medic stopped by a Waffle House. After having a good old night drinking with his buddies, he decided, he was passing by a Waffle House, actually. He's like, that would be pretty good. He had something specific on his mind that he wanted to get made for him. Well, after he went inside and it turned out to be a ghost town, he decided he was gonna make it himself. You're wondering, maybe, this establishment wasn't locked down properly. Maybe they left. No, it was wide open. It was supposed to be open, operating hours. And after 10 minutes in
Waffle
on
Houses
cooking...
are 24 hours. Exactly.
Well, you walk in and there's nobody there. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
Right?
I would imagine they got robbed and people are dead somewhere. Like, I'd be like, what's
Oh, God.
going on? I always imagine the worst scenario. But, so he starts cooking his Texas bacon cheese steak melt.
Nice.
Which sounds goddamn delicious.
Does sound
Good
delicious.
Choice. I agree with this man. This is a good choice. I like
Damn.
this guy already. So he's 10 minutes in on, taking down this kitchen, becoming the ultimate chef of it. And he finds somebody fucking sleeping. And then he realizes the whole crew is just passed out because they're not expecting customers and somebody should be doing like a maid watch, but they're not.
Did they say how many people were on site at the time? Are we
There's
talking like
not a
2
mention.
people, like 3 people?
There's not a
maybe?
mention. He just mentioned the one person he saw. He actually didn't take any photos of the people sleeping. He just took a bunch of fucking selfies of him creeping around and cooking his meal.
Man in the grill.
Yeah, so like he made his meal. He cleaned up after he was done, and he left. But he didn't pay. But he went home, slept, and came back, and he wanted to pay, and told him about what happened. And the crazy thing is, the district manager had reached back out to him after the event and thanked him for pointing out a flaw in their business, which means somebody's getting fucking fired, and then offered him a job as a cook because he must have liked the skills on the security cam.
There you go. Watching him cook up that, what was it, a Texas bacon cheeseburger or something?
Texas bacon cheesesteak melt, which is pretty.
Damn.
Sounds pretty good right now. I could go
Sounds
for one of those
really
bad boys. Right? Yeah, I'm feeling it. I wish we had some right now.
Bacon on
Yeah.
a cheesesteak. I don't have any Waffle Houses around me. It's a southern thing, from what I understand.
They're around. I can't remember. I think I went to a Waffle House in Baltimore the last time I went to one. They're pretty good.
Okay.
They're not bad. Yeah, they're really not bad. Better than IHOP. I have a thing against IHOP. Everybody likes IHOP. Fuck IHOP.
What about Denny's?
Everything's sticky. The table's sticky. I'll go to Denny's. I don't give a fuck. I went there actually this year. I gotta say, I went to Denny's.
Table's sticky because there's so many syrups in IHOP.
Yeah, fuck IHOP. They got every fucking fruit flavored one you could ever want. It's
Boysenberry,
ridiculous.
apricot.
It's like, where's
All
the regular
that shit.
syrup? Where's the regular syrup? It's out.
What do you think? What do you think about bologna flavored syrup?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. That's
Yeah,
a
same
no-brainer.
here. I don't think it
I don't
exists,
fuck
and
with
I think
bologna
that's
in
a good
general. Do you
reason.
fuck with bologna?
No, I hate bologna. I'll do.
Okay.
You know what? I'll do a fried bologna. I'm never doing cold bologna.
That's crazy. Never had that. I would go out on a limb and try it.
I mean, it's not
Especially-
bad. Hot bologna is better than cold bologna any day.
Yeah, I guess it would be better if we were working with the kind of product that you're about to enlighten us about.
Yeah, we got some Mexican bologna being smuggled. We got 227 pounds of it. Contraband sausage
primo.
coming through the border. This was the worst day ever for the lady that got her sausage seized at the border. And I learned a new word. Salchicha.
What is salchicha?
Sausage.
Oh, it's salchicha.
I
like that.
I know
Okay.
chorizo is also a type of sausage, but that's a spicier sausage. This one's salchicha, sausage, also bologna. So I guess they don't really
Salchicha.
make a distinction. This was seized in West Texas because they're worried that, you bring in these ham products or pork products from other countries and it's going to end up tainting our pork market somehow. It's one of those trade types of things. They have a stop coming
Okay.
into California too, because there's so much agriculture.
Now, the lady, was she American? Was she Mexican? What was the deal?
Yeah, it was a Mexican lady who was coming across the border, and they found it under the mats of her car. The contraband racked up $1,000 fine, and
Oh, that's sad.
it would have made 1,800 cold cut sandwiches.
Oh, that's kind of sad, because you can only imagine the only reason she's smuggling this is it probably makes her a little profit on the side or whatever
Yeah.
she does as a normal job.
That's what I'm guessing.
So now this lady's got to fucking come up with the $1,000 American equivalent? Or, like, is it 1,000 pesos?
No, it's $1,000. So yeah, it is a lot.
A
It
lot of
sucks.
fucking money.
It is against the rules. It's tough. You want to enforce the rules because you don't want
Yeah.
anyone getting sick though. Either.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah,
there's
you
certain
never
standards.
know what...
This isn't the first time. I guess earlier this year, officials in New Mexico gave another $1,000 fine to a driver who was smuggling 30 rolls of Mexican bologna into the country. More salchichas
Man.
coming across the border.
You've never had this Mexican bologna, have you?
No, I
mean-
have not had salchichas. I don't know if I guess it's not legal. Now I do want it. It's
I
kinda
want
like
it now. I am...
It's kind of like a meat that it's mystery meat, you know?
Yeah, dude, but a mystery meat that you want, not like Spam. It's like... That's not spicy. Delicious. Like, why are you hiding this from me? The government doesn't want you to have this, man.
If I'm going for any sort of sandwich, I'm gonna go with a banh mi. That's my new thing.
A banh mi. What now? Enlighten me on this.
Vietnamese lunch sandwich. You can get like a pork one or a chicken one. They got like radish
Like
and lettuce.
Deli?
Yeah, it's on like a roll. It's really good. It's a Vietnamese it's banh mi.
Oh,
BAHNMI.
Man, I have to check that out.
Try some of that shit out.
Jesus Christ, that sounds delicious. I'm fucking hooked on food, man. It used to be you were the one who would always talk about food.
Oh, I'm making steaks after this. We already
Now
talked
it's
about
me.
that.
I'm like hungry now, and I'm like thinking about all this food we're talking about.
Steak and mashed
God.
potato.
Well, let's get out of the food because I can't handle that anymore. Now, I've got one more question to ask you, Jesse. When's the last time you shaved your eyelids?
Oh, that's usually a bi-weekly thing. So, I think Thursday was the last
Not
time.
what I was expecting at all. Not what I was expecting.
What
Maybe
the
this
fuck
isn't
are
as-
you talking about? Shaving
What are you
eyelids?
doing over there? Oh my god. Well, apparently this is not so uncommon if you go over to China, Chengdu specifically, because there is a barber, Zhang Gao, and his specialty is he takes a razor, a straight razor, and he scrapes it along the inside of your eyelid.
It's like in elementary school when people started flipping their eyelids inside out and they thought it was the funniest thing.
Oh, and that's the first thing he does. He flips your eyelid in and inside out, which is so uncomfortable to me,
Let me
at least.
scrape that shit.
And then you got a razor so close to your eyeball, just waiting to slice into that bad boy.
Is there a
Fuck
benefit
everything.
to this at all?
Well, a local ophthalmologist has said that the technique appears to unblock moisturizing sebaceous glands
Okay.
along the rim of the eyelid.
Okay, so it makes it so your eye can stay more moist?
Yeah, or is it the blood from your eyelid getting scraped the fuck up, just blending in with your fucking teardrops? I don't know, man. I mean, if a real doctor is getting behind it, I mean, I can't help but to believe maybe there is a benefit. Your skin cells reproduce constantly. I mean, what is it? I think they say every, 7 years, your cells reproduce themselves so much that you're technically not the same person you used to be.
Well, yeah, 'cause
everything but your
you're
nerve
growing.
endings.
It's
and all
almost
that.
like molting. Yeah, I'm watching the video now of this old man's eyes being fucking trimmed with a
It's
straight razor.
too much for me. I don't like needles. I'm that type of person.
My eyes are watering watching this shit.
You know how, dude, I fucked around, so I got the contacts that change the color of your eyes one time for Halloween. It took
Okay.
me over an hour to get one contact into my fucking eye.
I don't
You think
blame
I'm gonna
you.
let a stranger just have a fucking straight blade up in my shit?
Oh my god. This is too much. It's not cutting the people's eyes or anything. It's just it must be taken off a very small layer of skin. But no thanks. I don't even know if I do acupuncture. This is a little bit farther beyond that.
Are you sure? It could just cost you a short $12 per shave.
Oh, cool.
And
pretty cheap.
You just, that dry feeling that you get in your eyes every now and again, especially if you're a smoker.
It's a bargain,
It supposedly wipes that right out. And let me mention the best side. The best part about this is that it's a roadside attraction. So, I mean, basically, you just pull up and you're served and you're out.
Like an oil change?
I'm just imagining you don't even have to get out of your car. You just reaches in your car window, folds your eyelids open, and just
you don't even need to put it in park. Just keep that foot on the brake. Let the guy
scraping
go
your
into
windshield
your eye
is an
with the
additional
razor
$5. That's it. $5 extra. He'll do your windshield.
That dirty rag that he wipes the fucking razor blade on.
Yeah, he wipes the next victim's fucking eyelids with.
I'm gonna stay away from that. I like my eyes because with my eyes I get to see my brand new smart lights that I'm so fucking infatuated with.
I'm a little jealous. I think I'm gonna have to take a step into the smart lights. The smart house thing is out of control. We both have these Echo things, and smart lights are so cool. You can control them with your phone. Many spectrums like the one you have. Matt
and I both got Amazon Echoes, and I think you can play our podcast from the Amazon Echo. Try it if you are subscribed to us. Let us know.
Spoiler alert, I tried it. We have to do a little work and submit our podcast real
quick.
Once
we're on Spotify.
But soon enough, I promise you'll be able to just tell your Alexa to play American Slacker podcast, and you'll be able to tell the name. You'll be able to actually play us on it, which is really fucking cool. And why we're so captivated by this smart home technology.
Yeah, getting your news, being able to just talk to it and have it control anything in your house that's connected via Wi-Fi. I bought one smart bulb, which was $45, but I'm loving it.
It's a lot of money, but the thing you look at is that thing's going to last you for fucking 10, 20 years, no problem. And you control it by your voice now, your phone, whatever you decide.
I can say go to 50% brightness or 25% brightness. I can change the color, give it blue,
and it's
red.
crazy because the color spectrum is technically you could have 3 million different colors because of this color spectrum is so insane. And
it can also, I think it has a mode where it'll, strobe to your music and stuff. So there's a lot of cool things about these smart lights. And actually our funny clip of the week has to do with these smart lights. This guy went all out, got a whole bunch of smart lights for his house, and is looking to impress his wife. He forgot that his security camera was rolling, though, and it captured every ballet twirly moment of this guy commanding the lights around his house. He sends it into a light show, essentially, at the command of his voice, while motioning like a conductor to each of these lights in each room.
He is twirling around like a ballerina. It is hilarious,
but I can't help but going on.
Have sympathy because I could do the same thing if I had just bought a bulk of these smart lights and I was just controlling them. Dun, 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 dun.
Right? The first day, I kind of did something similar. I wasn't dancing nearly as much as this guy is, but the first day that Marley came in, I didn't tell her that I had gotten the smart light yet, and I changed the hue of the light, so it went from orange to blue or white, just to give it a little it's changing the temperature of the light. And then I completely switched over and I was red, green, blue. Just sending out every vibrant color that I could put up there to be show off how cool it is. It's definitely a neat piece of technology.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this whole adaptation to smart technology in the house. Vacuums to outlet controls to lights. It's crazy.
Hell yeah.
Can't help but get amused like this gentleman right here.
So that you guys can see it, we're going to be posting this up on Wednesday, as we do with all of our funny clips of the week. So now, we're getting into video games.
Me, Mario.
Finish him.
Alright, well the first game we're going to talk about is one we've been pretty hyped about for the past few months.
Yeah, and I was just actually thinking about this, how we've been hyped for this one less than one we're going to talk about in a couple of stories. Like, you know what I mean? We've been waiting longer for one we're going to talk about in a couple of stories now than we have for this one. This one had a pretty quick release.
Yeah, I was never expecting this one to ever come to Xbox One, honestly. It's a PC adaptation, Player Unknown Battlegrounds. And it's a really cool concept. It's a 100-player Battle Royale multiplayer online. And it's pretty chaotic in like a SOCOM-type environment.
You can roll around with your friends on like a large island, sort of getting into shootouts by finding weaponry, I guess, scattered throughout the buildings.
Yeah.
You can
it's a 5x5 mile. It's a huge map. And apparently it conforms you to smaller circles every so often.
Making it so that you actually come into contact with other players as the playable area shrinks.
Yeah, I like to call it the real life version of styling of Fortnite. Yeah, it's a more realistic version.
Yeah, it's definitely, like you said, more like a SOCOM kind of feel.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the upsetting things is apparently it's only going to run at 30 frames per second on Xbox One.
Versus about 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X.
Yeah, so if you had made the jump, a few of your friends have, then you'll get the experience of the little bit quicker frame rate, which, just will establish a smoother game in general. And I'm curious. I think it'll still be alright, but it might be a little shaky at first. They're hoping to bump it up.
I've never had like a big concentration on the graphics necessarily.
If it's a good enough game, you can always bypass the graphics, yes. I'm
right.
a firm believer of that.
I've played, IDARB. We've played the shit out of that, and it's literally just pixels of people.
True. I feel like there's a retro draw on that, though. At the same time, it's like an HD version of the games we first played when we were like little babies. We grew up on NES, things that were just like 2D.
Asteroids or something.
Yeah.
So they have a bunch of packs that they're also releasing over the next couple of days when up to the release of the game on December 12th. And it's weird because I haven't seen much of this on the Xbox Live store. But they have a couple of them. The packs are all just... They're not anything that's going to make you better in the game. It's just style things like, shoes, shirts, balaclava that you can wear.
Yeah. No crazy weapon advantage because you can't start with a weapon.
So it's going to be a fun game. It's only $30 to
$30, so cheap for a game of that quality. It's going to be a game preview, so it's not going to be the full game at first. They're still working on getting it fully transferred.
I would say the benefit to that, though, is they're going to be adding things as it. They will, along.
And I'm sure that price is going to go up. It's going to double. Most likely, it'll end up at the the $59.99 range where most games are when they're out of the game preview. It's a great game coming the 12th, which is Tuesday. Yeah, very soon.
We have a lot happening on the 12th in our next little bit of video game news here. We're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5. They put out another DLC for free. This is the fucking 24th or something.
Maybe
crazy, like
even
that.
More than that. Yeah.
Free DLC that they've put out. Rockstar is very gracious with the way that they've done that.
Yeah,
it's the only reason they can't give them shit about their servers.
Don't give them over credit because they definitely do a game to play with the shark cards.
Well, I think they did it the right way compared to EA, who everyone's complaining about lately.
Yeah, you don't get maps or certain things. Yeah.
The new DLC is the Doomsday Heist update, and this comes with a brand new heist that you can play online.
Finally,
there's a trailer that shows what the heist sort of entails, and they've created an Elon Musk type of character, which is pretty funny because we're always talking about Elon on the show.
Hell yeah. Can't help but it. He's a fucking genius. He is the Bruce Wayne, if there was ever a Bruce Wayne in our fucking world.
Why he's building those tunnels? It's for his Batcave. Now, there's flying DeLoreans. We got jetpacks. We have a possible answer to the Mount Chiliad mystery, which I think is quite interesting because the descriptions that we've seen and the images that have been put out, these DeLoreans, they fly and they also end up at the bottom of the ocean attacking a nuclear sub.
You're saying they're submarine and they can fly?
Mm-hmm.
That's wicked cool.
It's pretty
it's
outrageous.
Gonna have a crazy price tag. It's gonna have a $5 million.
They also have pictures of jetpacks hovering over top of Mount Chiliad. So that's what leads me to believe that we're gonna have some sort of Mount Chiliad mystery answer.
Me and you were hard on that mystery in the first month, like we were gonna fucking solve it, and here we are. How many years later?
One of the things I was thinking, is that maybe there wasn't an answer, and that it was something that they were gonna come out with later. So
way before American Slacker, we were on fucking private journalism trying to figure out this.
Right.
I hope you're right. I hope it's solved.
Yeah, and it gives me a reason to play the heist now. So we're going to be jumping on that. Make sure to, hit us up if you're down to do some of the GTA heists. Figure out this Chiliad mystery.
I need to rack up some dough. Hell yeah, hit us up.
We're moving on. We have an update also on the game Sea of Thieves, which this is the game I was talking about before. We've been waiting for this one for quite some time. Number of months, if not a little over a year.
I feel like the beginning of the show.
Rare Studios, the same people that did Donkey Kong.
Fucking love that game.
They've been working on putting out a game called Sea of Thieves that is basically like a pirate adventure where you can like fuck around on pirate ships with your friends and go look for treasure and get into battles and fight skeletons and shit.
One of the things is it definitely appeals to the Rare company and has a little more of a cartoon image versus like a realistic view.
That's true.
But the gameplay might fall through to where we were talking before, where the graphics do not matter because the gameplay is so amazing. And I think the concept is definitely, it has the potential to be that.
Yeah, I mean, you're working as like a 5-man pirate team to go explore the open seas. It's like a cross between like an MMO RPG and like an arcade game in a way.
Hell yeah. And ever since I played Black Flag Assassin's Creed, like I wanted a pirate game that would just let you be a pirate.
Right.
You don't have to worry about don't worry about the regular shit. Like go out there and do like exploring and all that. Like I'm excited for this.
And there's a lot of that kind of stuff to do in this game, it seems. And we'll finally get the chance to try it out in March of 2018. They have a release date, March 20th, 2018, and they're taking pre-orders right now. They also put out a new trailer that we will be sure to post. I'm going to post that on Thursday on the Facebook page.
Awesome. Now, we have a few games that we wanted to touch on that were the games with gold in the beginning of December. I kind of had a hand on the few of them. I'm sure you had a bit more of time with them. But
yeah,
the first one...
I got a little bit of time.
The first one, Warhammer, I think that's a good game, and I'm going to keep it installed on my Xbox because I wanted to actually try it out a little more, even after talking about it. But it feels to me like a very guided Skyrim, based off of a very similar story as the Golden Axe story way back from like Sega. I don't know if you remember that game. You choose like a few characters, a little gnome, a big guy, a girl, whatever. But it felt like that, but the graphics met like Skyrim. But a slimmed down Skyrim, you're not picking up items and it's not as in depth.
This one's definitely more almost like kind of like how Call of Duty does their rounds. You're playing online with other characters in the group.
You could play on local too if you don't want to do online. I played local just because I wanted to check it out.
And it's interesting. It's a cool fighting sort of game. I don't know how much time I would sink into it necessarily. It gave me a couple of connectivity issues. Who knows, that might have been my modem for all I know. But
always fun.
But I did get a chance to try the next one, Warhammer End Times Vermintide is available from the 1st to the 31st, so all month.
Oh, okay. So there's going to be a gap for you to be able to grab this game.
Definitely. And the next one is an Xbox 360 game called Child of Eden. And this one's available from the 1st to the 15th, so you'll have a couple of days once this episode comes out. It's a kind of shooter, arcadey, electronica. It's
trippy.
Very trippy. I couldn't like focus my eyes on what was going on. They say it's a rhythmic action game.
I fell off immediately when it opened up with this crazy trippy video scheme, and I was just like, "This is ridiculous. I can't."
Yeah, it's weird. It's made by Ubisoft, who I believe they do Rayman.
Yeah, they do a lot of Tomb Raider, I believe. Maybe the originals, but yeah.
So I don't know. I think it was like an experimental game. Its initial release date was 2011, so it's definitely a dated game.
Okay. Yeah. It's definitely an older game. It's fucking weird though, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's not unplayable. It's I wouldn't like. I see why they're giving it away for free.
Yeah, maybe.
It's available to the
shrooms
50s.
Before you get on there, you'll have a good old time.
The next one, I'm actually kind of interested to see how it turns out. It comes out on the 16th, and it's available till the end of the month on the 31st. It's called Marlowe Briggs and the Mask of Death.
Okay, not familiar with that game at all.
It looks like it's an adventure game where you are doing like hack and slash kind of stuff through enemies, and you're this guy. The character almost looks like the main character in what was that movie that just came out? That Disney movie with the Maui the warrior dude.
Oh,
the one that The Rock played.
Koana?
Yeah, Moana.
Man.
Yeah.
Moana.
It looks like the main character in this game sort of looks like the Rock's character in that movie, and you sort of have like magical Mayan powers, I believe.
Okay.
And you kind of work your way through. It's like a Tomb Raider sort of arcadey game.
Okay, I would check that out.
Yeah, it got a 9 out of 10 on Steam. So, GameSpot gave it 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. We'll have to see how it plays out. We'll play it.
So that one's available till the end of the month. The next one is kind of interesting. I didn't even know this game existed.
Yeah, I wasn't aware either. But it's another part of the Telltale series. And they're always cranking out
They're known for the Walking Dead series, A Wolf Among Us, the Borderlands one that was available last month.
Yeah.
And actually into this month.
Yeah, Back to the Future. Really cool one. I'm interested. It's got Doc in it. It's cool. I'm really willing to check this one out.
It's got Doc and Biff and the actual voice actors like Christopher Lloyd came in and did the voices for it.
Which is so cool.
It's like a decision-based game that walks you through the Back to the Future movie plots.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting one to check out at least. And that one's available from the 16th to the 15th of January.
Awesome. So yeah, you got a while to catch that once it comes out.
So now we're moving on from video games to some TV suggestions.
All right. Well, I'm going to start it out. I chose a awesome Netflix original. It is called Mindhunter. And now what it is, it's an American crime drama that's based on the whole... When the FBI introduced criminal profiling, especially among serial killers, which I have a vast interest in that. I know you do too, Jesse.
Definitely. A lot of
can't help but
podcasts.
Hell yeah, that really ruined that for me. I was just like so hard into it once they started going deep on all the different killers. And you get to see a lot of the killers if you are a listener of last podcast. You get to see a lot of the main serial killers that you might hear on there, or you just might know because of the heinous acts they have done.
The acting in this is really good too, I have to say.
Oh my god, yeah, the guy that plays Ed Kemper is really, really cool. They have so many good actors. Cameron
Britton is the guy who plays Edmund Kemper, and yeah, a lot of people have said that his portrayal of that killer is almost spot on, and creepily so.
Oh my god, insanely, yeah, because he's just such a calm and collected gentleman, just like you hear described with anybody that researches who that guy is. Meanwhile, you know what he did. He killed a bunch of young girls.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Jerry Brudos, who had like a a crazy like foot fetish, but also wouldn't admit to his crimes. The guy who played him was great too. And then the main guy, Jonathan Groff, who plays Holden, the main detective.
Exactly, yeah. Which is, you go through a crazy story with him, between him losing his girlfriend. It's an on and off thing, and then they finally split at the end of the first series, which I cannot wait until season 2 comes out. It's fucking, it'll grab you.
Do you know if it's confirmed already for a second season?
Last month they actually confirmed that they're going to shoot season 2, so it's been re-signed. It's going to come out.
Huh, nice.
So I cannot wait for that.
I was going through the IMDb of the main character, Jonathan, or the actor, Jonathan Groff, who plays the main character, and I didn't realize he's also the voice of one of the main characters in that Disney movie Frozen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He plays Kristoff. I haven't seen the movie myself, but I'm familiar with the
I'm familiar with it enough from Let It Go.
He was also on Glee, I guess.
Really? Yeah, see, I've seen bits and pieces of Glee. Not something that I've always seen.
Yeah, it's not really up my alley, but it's interesting to see him do something along these lines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
There's not much singing in Mindhunter.
Not much at all. And I'm excited about a second season because, the people that this is based off of, it's based off of 3 detectives, but mainly 2 is who they took the influence from. Johnny Douglas and Robert K. Ressler. And they didn't actually talk to Ed Kemper. They talked to David Berkowitz, the son of Sam Killer, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, and Charles Manson. So I'm hoping they incorporate some of these guys in the next season because I'm more familiar with these guys, obviously. These are some of the biggest names of serial killers.
Definitely. And if you're going to profile serial killers, those would be ones to do.
Yeah, exactly. The main group of them.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Mindhunter's all over acting. The storytelling is great. And IMDb gave it an 8.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 96, and the audience gave it a 95. I give it a fucking high 90s for sure. I really like it.
Yeah, definitely. It's I binged right through Mindhunter, and I also suggested it to pretty much everyone I talked to while I was watching it.
Hell yeah, it's so good. So good. Check it out, and definitely check out the one that Jesse's about to tell you about, because I'm on it right now.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you about the fucking Punisher, man. On Netflix, this is one of the better Marvel... Punisher's Marvel. One of the better Marvel series that they've put together. It's very brooding. It's very dark. It's like if Batman shot people in the head.
Yeah. It's the superhero that doesn't have the limit.
And he has all the reason not to. The man Frank Castle, known as the Punisher, it kind of leads out of the Daredevil series because his character starred in that as well. There's sort of a storyline crossover, and the first actual season of the Punisher concentrates on him going after people that were in his unit in the Marines. He was used as an assassin, and he's going after the people that essentially also killed his family. It's a very twisted web. There's plenty of great actors and actresses, and Jonathan Bernthal, who you might recognize as Shane from The Walking Dead, plays Frank Castle, and he's
couldn't be a better cast.
Very, very guarded and very I don't know, he's just very dark. He's a dark character, and he doesn't want to let you in, and that's one of the interesting things about the Punisher compared to other superheroes who just lay it all out for you. I want to fight justice and do this. He's like, no, I'm just gonna do my shit.
He has his own goal to achieve. Nothing else matters.
Right.
And I can't. The brutality of this show, you just can't stress enough. The fight scenes are out of control. Fucking amazingly done.
The guy that plays David Lieberman, aka Micro, he does a really good job. Evan Moss Bacharach, and also Dina Medina, the FBI agent who's pursuing the cases, played by Amber Rose Reva. she does a really great job too.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, the whole cast is great in this, and again, I mean, the story it's so good.
The fight scenes are so brutal sometimes, like I thought I was watching Hostel.
Dude, it is that fucking brutal, and that's what I love about these productions that don't have to touch mainstream TV and get censored, because they can do what they want, and I think it adds to the element of the whole telling the story.
Oh, for sure. IMDb gave it a 8.9 out of 10, so basically a 9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes not as great. They gave it a 61% on the tomato meter, and but the audience gave it a 94%.
Yeah, see, I feel like certain places are a little biased, but yeah, I would definitely say it's one of the best things that you can pull up, especially on your Netflix hub.
I feel like with the critics, there's a bit of a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to Marvel, because it's been a little hit and miss between Iron Fist, which a lot of people didn't seem to like, and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, which people did seem to like.
I didn't get in. This is one I didn't get into. Loved Luke Cage. I liked Iron Fist, but I didn't get into the Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I would say give that one. Did you give it a chance yet? You watch it?
No, I honestly haven't.
Okay, no, I would say it's worth it. It's better than Iron Fist.
Really?
When it comes to the Netflix Marvel stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, make sure you guys check out The Punisher. Make sure you check out Mindhunter. Both on Netflix. Both easily accessible.
Can't get easier than that. We're gonna make it real easy for you to stay in contact with us. Check us out on all the realms. First off, check out the Facebook page. You'll find us at American Slacker Podcast. Also, don't forget to stop by the American Slackers group, where you can take part in some fucking ridiculous conversation that I'm sure you'll get amusement out of. On Instagram, you'll find all the promos for our shows, the graphics and whatnot. Find us at American Slacker Podcast. Don't forget the main hub. It's AmericanSlackerPodcast.com. And similar, you can send us an email at AmericanSlackerPodcast@gmail.com. And also, if you want to jam out to all the artists that we feature on the show, check out the Spotify playlist. Search American Slacker Podcast, and you'll be rocking out.
You can also find us on Twitter and Reddit at AMERSLKR Podcast. That's Amer Slacker Podcast. Please rate and review us over on iTunes and tell a friend about the show. Another thing you can do, we have a YouTube page where all of our episodes are available for free for you. Go subscribe. We have a couple of subscribers on there. We want to get those numbers up just because it looks better for us.
Yeah, it looks a little better.
You can also become a Patreon sponsor of the show, like the awesome people up top that we give shout outs to. We also have rewards available on that Patreon, and we're going to be adding more and more stuff as the new year rolls around. So be sure to go over there and become a sponsor of the show. Really appreciate it.
And lastly, check us out on our personal shit. You can find me on Instagram at MWG Media. Find me on Snapchat and on my Xbox Live gamertag at Matty G from HB.
And you can find me on all of those at Landers the Plane.
Alrighty, people. Until next time, we love every fucking one of you. And that's it.
There you go.
Well, so according to a local ophthalmologist, did I say that wrong?
Optometrist?
Ophthalmologist? Ophthalmologist? Yeah, ophthalmologist.
Ophthalmologist.
Ophthalmologist, thank you. Well, a local ophthalmologist. Enjoy this one, editing. This might be bloopers, me trying to pronounce this word.
Yeah, I'm throwing it in
one of those words that are brain locking me. Well, a local ophthalmologist.